What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. Welcome to some Forza Horizon 5 with one of the most insane sounding cars in this game. But this isn't really about the sound of this car. However, though, I feel like I can make an updated video on this game on the best sounding cars in Forza Horizon 5. I've made a video like this, I think, a year or two ago, and, you know, obviously there was a bunch of cars back then that sounded quite decent in this game, especially comparing them to Forza Horizon 4, and you know, I thought, you know, it was a good idea to make a video like that. But now they've released so many other cars with updated sounds, and they all just sound really, really good. So I was thinking maybe I should remake that video with an updated, I guess, 2024 list of a bunch of best sounding cars in this game, and I think I can make a pretty good list because I have at least 5 of them in mind right now that I can pick for the best sounding cars in this game. Obviously, this will make it on the list because it's just so mental. But the reason why I'm driving this thing is because one of you guys has sent me a code for this thing to try over on my Discord. If you guys don't know, sometimes I make these videos where you guys send me some codes for cars to use, and you know, some of the tunes that you guys have sent me, usually sometimes very good, sometimes not that good, sometimes, you know, kind of crappy, but it's still fun to try them out and see what you guys come up with. So let's check out what this dude has sent me. He also did say that I should, or I can try use it on a wheel, but it's really twitchy, or pretty snappy. But if it's a code that is not specifically sent for the wheel, then I'm not going to try it on the wheel, because I feel like I'm just not going to do, first of all, I'm not going to do the tune justice by picking it on a wheel, and second of all, it's just not going to drive well on a wheel. It's going to be different, you know, it's not built for it. So anyway, let's get started with this thing and see what it's like. 127342090. That's the code for it. Huayra R. It's called near perfect, apparently. I mean, the setup that I have on it now is pretty much looking like that. His 0 to 60 is quicker. His lateral G's is higher, which means he has a bit more grip. He has slightly less horsepower than me. He also has a little bit more weight than mine. I don't even know what I've done to this car whenever I ended up building it, but whatever it is, yeah, it might just not have race tires or something. I don't even know, to be honest. But yeah, this guy's built a tune for this thing, and I want to try it. Let's see what it's capable of. He says he uses it online for online races, but he's tried it for rivals as well. I think what we can try and do is bring it over into rivals and see what we can do with it. I don't know what we can really use this thing for. I'm trying to think, what event can I really bring this car out on, you know? Handling's good. Handling's very good. Slows down very quickly though, so... Slows down very, very quickly. I don't think it could challenge like the SCV12 from Lamborghini or anything like that. I think its sound is impressive, but I don't think the handling of it is that crazy. Anyway, I do want to try it in rivals though. Let's see what it's like. So road racing. I don't think he's mentioned what sort of tracks he's been playing with. No, he hasn't. He said it's sort of higher speed tracks apparently. So stuff like TR Prospect is kind of alright. Higher speed corners. Maybe we could try something like the Vulcan Sprint, or he said higher speed corners, which means we could go all the way to the very end. We got to either the Linear Costera or the Aerodromal Sprint. These ones have kind of more straight line, not really that fast corners type of vibe, you know what I mean? Maybe this one more than the Aerodromal Sprint. So I think we should try it on the Linear Costera Sprint and see what we can do here. So I think I've done a run in the past on this. I don't know what car I used. Was it Jag? Brabham? Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be getting anywhere close to the Brabham, but I do still want to try it, and I do still want to see how close I can get to it, or how good this thing is. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get close to that. That's one thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to get close to the Brabham. That thing is just way too OP. It's way, way, way too OP as a car in this game. As a race car in this game, even, I should say. Slap this thing on sim steering as well. And let's try. Let's see what your tune is like then. Even the guy I'm racing against right now, and he's using a problem. I mean, those are going to be the best cars to use for all these events, but It's always nice when you get something new to try, you know what I mean? And it's not just the same race cars over and over again being used. I mean, speed-wise, the problem is just ever so slightly faster. This thing's really twitchy. I don't think... There's also rear-wheel drive. I'm pretty sure the problem is all-wheel drive. Like the main tune for it. I think I'm gonna be about 4 or 5 seconds slower, which isn't that big of a margin though. Considering what I'm racing is. Wow, that just did not slow down. I expected it to slow down because of the way I've been using it so far, but it was like, nah. It'd be very smooth on the power though when you accelerate out of corners. Like really, really smooth. Really like ease onto it. I feel like on a wheel or whatever with pedals, you're gonna be able to do it a lot more efficiently than you can on the controller, but you still have to do it on a controller as well. Obviously. Because this thing will just kick out pretty hard. So after the crash and after the bad driving, I'm going to say about 10 seconds slower than my Ghost and the rival that I'm racing against. And I'm probably just spot on, actually. Wow. Wait, was I perfectly spot on with 10 seconds slower? Oh my god. Okay. Alright, I want to go again. I want to get it, I want to get that time kind of down by about 5 seconds, because I think it's very much possible. I don't know if it's even going to be like a top 1000 car. This, not for this event, I don't know. Maybe I should also try not to hit limiter in first when I'm setting up. Because after launch control gives up, I mean, I'm pretty much just there on my own, trying to feather the throttle to try and get it to speed up. Does that make sense? So at that point, maybe try not to smack limiter. It's a nice car. It's nice to drive. It's not going to be OP or anything like that, but it seems pretty solid. That's much better on the brakes. That jump really does me in. It's very, very squirrely. Maybe keep it in third instead of second then. Because I feel like even in third I can kind of feather the throttle a little bit, but I can go flat out on the power a lot earlier than in second. Wow. Your suspension's too stiff, I think. Every bump and anything that I go over it, this thing just gets sent up in the air. I mean, it doesn't really help that this specific track goes through like a little like area where there's like curbs and stuff, right? As soon as I mount the curb, this thing just gets sent up in the air. It's just a little too stiff. That's annoying. Another flag time. I did, however, bring the time down a little bit. And I could do it even more. That's crazy though, right? The way it just like hops up in the air so easily. It's pretty mad. Somebody even skipped a little bit from underneath me. I didn't do anything crazy. Okay, interesting. Problem's getting away though. Much better than the other few times though. Those little side markers on the road really slow you down. Like really slow you down. These things. Yeah, at least I brought that time down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if I can go much faster than that, to be honest. Maybe a couple of seconds faster, but it's just not going to be up there, you know? It's just not going to be up there with the Brabham and all that. It's just not going to happen. It's a good tune. It's a good enough tune. I don't know, like I said, I think for stuff like this, I don't know if you can make it so it's faster with less grip. The thing is though, with less grip, I don't know. I don't know what you can really do to this guy, right? Isn't this thing like as standard at the top of S2 anyway? So I don't know if you can do much more with this car to be able to make it so it's better, if that makes sense, right? Maybe there's slight change in tune and stuff like that, sure. But I don't know if like upgrading or changing parts is something that you can do with this car. That's the thing, right? Like you're very limited with what you can possibly do here. So what was it, 205 is what I got with it? Is that even a top 1000 tune? Have a quick little look here, see if anybody on the leaderboards got like a 205. Very close. Very close to a top 1000 tune. I think it can be a top 1000 tune, but you can see like all of these top 1000 runs that are just from people in my club. You can see how it's just dominated by the Brabham. You have one Moser there, but most of them are the Brabhams. It's mad. It's mad. They're just way too OP, I guess. Right, now let's move on to another tune. Let's have a quick little look here. So this guy sent over an S1 Mazda RX-7 time attack tune. He gave me a couple of times from his runs. On the Vulcan Sprint he did a 238, and on the Golden Toge he did a 414 with it. Apparently I got a 238 in Vulcan in S2 whenever I did my little wheel spin build. Okay. Interesting. He's trying to one-up me, basically, with his car. But Mazda RX-7, I'm pretty sure I still have the one that I ended up building in... Yeah, I did. I do still have it. And it's here. I mean, he did say that because mine was S2, I ended up getting, like, just an ever so slightly faster time than him. Bro, it's an 924. This is barely better than being at the top of S1. So... this guy sent me a tune for this thing, but because I've already made a video on going up the Vulcan Sprint with this thing, I'm going to bring down the Golden Toge instead. He said he got a 414 in it on the Golden Toge with his tune, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use this tune to try and see if I can get anywhere close to that as well. I'm not going to change the delivery. I know he gave me the delivery for it as well, but I'm not going to do it. I'm only doing the thing. Anyway, 920735218. There it is. Cool. Slick tires, all-wheel drive. Yeah, it's basically just another time attack build. But again, it's capped at S1. It's been a while actually since people have sent me a code for the Golden Toge. 414 would put this thing really high up in S1. There's a few cars that are quite quick in S1. 414 would put this 1, 2, 3, like fourth. I think it's fourth overall. Yeah, It'd be 4th overall on the list of cars on the Gold Target. If you want to see all the times on this track as well, they're over on the Discord. You can go check it out. Link to that is down below. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty much like this. All he's done, I think, is his tire choice, or his wheel choice is a bit different. And plus, he's got a V8 in it. Okay, cool. Let's go over to it. It's like I said, it's been a little while since I played on the Golden Toge. On a controller, I think I've tried it on the wheel, but that's just a little mess around run. But now, I guess I need to try to see if I can do some bits with this thing. 4:14 is a very fast time. 4:14 is a very, very quick time. The fastest run that we've got on the Golden Toge is a 4:05, and that was in the MG6. That thing is unbelievable. It's basically a race car, like that's standard. Also, I'm playing in cockpit view. If you don't like it, cry about it. Off I go. If you don't like watching me play cockpit view, then just stop watching the video. Or wait till later on when I'll show you the replay of the run. Alright. I have to remember, I'm not in the Huayra anymore. Even though I still think that this thing is going to have quite a lot of grip, the Huayra is just on a different level. I don't know if this just feels like this, but it feels like the brakes are a little ropey. It also has a V8. It just doesn't rev as high as the Huayra as well. It just makes it. What is wrong with the brakes on this thing? Why are they so bad? Maybe it is just because I was playing in the Pagani. Before this, I've gone down to this. I mean, then again, this isn't S1 as well, so it's like a whole class lower. Cornering ability is actually alright. Cornering ability is quite nice. It's pretty nippy. Going too fast. There's something about it I really don't like. I don't know why. I feel like it understeers a bit. See what I mean? Like, I'm not even going that fast or anything. It's just, like, kind of understeers. I genuinely just... probably is just because of the car that I drove just before this. And this is throwing me off because it's obviously lower in class and it won't have the same amount of level of grip, and it's not as twitchy to drive as the Pagani. Like, the Pagani is, like, really, really twitchy to drive. I actually really like that sort of style of driving. I don't like the whole cars being like this, where there's no way in hell, like, there's more understeer than there is oversteer. Like, I'd rather have it slightly oversteery, and then I could just control it with the throttle, you know, so it doesn't step out as wide. But okay, cleared. I can't really, like, go full balls to the wall because okay, somehow I'm gonna oversteer. How is it oversteering now? Nothing's changed. It just decides to randomly oversteer. It, like, heard me. It's like, wait, what do you mean you don't oversteer? Let me show you. And now it, like, wants to oversteer. Very strange. It started off really, really poorly, though. I really didn't like the start of this. Again, maybe Maybe it just is my driving or what, but it just felt like it was understeering a little bit. It's gonna be a slow time. I crashed many times. These brakes suck, man. The brakes are awful. There you go. I only pulled 421. Yeah, those brakes are ass. I need to be earlier on the brakes, though. I definitely do. It just feels like I'm just sending this thing into all of the walls. It's fine. A little scattering run, though. Let's try it again. See if I can do anything else. 415. I'll take it after I tapped off the walls a few times. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like this tune. I'll show you guys a replay of it. Like, I hit off the walls a couple of times. Maybe that'll slow me down a tiny bit, but I don't know if I like the tune. It just feels a little all over the place. Like, there's no, like... It just feels really stiff, if that makes sense. And then it kind of understeers quite a bit. I feel like the guy made this thing insanely stiff to drive. Meaning that there's no, like, suspension trouble. Like, all of the things that are happening to the car right now is all just set up on the tires themselves to handle, right? A little bit of a slightly softer suspension, just a tiny bit softer than what it is now. And you'll already be able to feel like the car kind of corners and like leans a tiny bit into corners and stuff like that. Whereas now it kind of feels like if you do anything just ever so slightly wrong with this car, if you go a bit too fast or if you don't go fast enough and you start accelerating out of corners, it just feels like all the tires are getting all the abuse, and it'll start like to slightly skip a little bit and start to understeer, or it'll start to skip and kind of oversteer a little bit. That's why it feels the way it does. I feel like a slightly softer suspension setup, just a little bit softer. I'm not saying like turn these into like really soft, you know, springs and dampers, but I'm just saying. And then it would actually handle like the way I think it should handle. The rest of it's kind of alright. I do like the combination of the V8 in it. I think the V8 does a really good job. It's a lot of torque pretty much anywhere and everywhere in any of the gears, and it's good at picking up speed. But like I said, it's just a suspension setup that I'm not really a really big fan of. So yeah, it's alright to drive. It's not that bad. I managed a 415. He did like what, 414 something is what he said. Which we got fairly similar times. Again, if I didn't crash into the walls, just like maybe one or two places where I like tapped off the walls a little bit. I don't know if that'll really slow me down that much. Maybe it's just my bad driving that's causing me to not get a good time. Then again, I am driving someone else's car with the way they built it, so obviously he's used to driving his own car. He probably tested it out, he slapped the tune on it, he kept changing things, right? It's normal. Me just jumping on and trying to drive this guy's car, you know, obviously not my car, there's bound to be like a few more mistakes that I'll end up making with his car versus, you know, if I was to drive my own car. Anyway, interesting stuff. Thank you guys for the tunes. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for sending them over. Yeah, just because I'm not really a big fan of this thing doesn't mean that you might not be. So try it out for yourselves, and you guys are gonna enjoy these two tunes that you guys, that other people have sent in quite a lot more than I will. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one.